Okay. Oh, yeah, beanie. Looky there. No styrofoam cup. Old little Shaul say it isn't so. Well, what I have here is a actual, it's an actual mug. It's a bingo mug, you see. My mom and my sister and my aunt and their friend were very big into bingo. I used to do a joke years ago in my comedy act where I would hold up this little notepad that they got as a door prize, I believe, one time. They give these door prizes. Give me a minute. Woo! They get these door prizes. It was a little notepad, and on it said on the front, "I want to play bingo." And I would use that in my act. I would hold it up and I would say, "I wrote a book many years ago. It's called I Want to Play Bingo, or How to Beat the Catholics at Their Own Game." It would get a laugh now and again. But this here is not coffee. Oh, little Shaul again, say it is not so. It's tea. I'm drinking tea. At 10:38 a.m. in the morning, yes, with no decaf tea at that. I'm going to tell you what kind of tea this is in a minute. But as you know, a dear brother, let me put this, I'll put it here. I got a book here that was written by R.C. Sproul, a very intelligent man. I don't believe he's a rapture guy. I've been wanting to read this book and just totally, tear it up, eschatologically, but I haven't gotten around to it. But I got this tea here. A brother sent me a big can of wonderful coffee, which I'm going to drink the coffee. Don't get me wrong now here. What is this?
Come on, get your own catchphrase, Polish man.
Sorry, I'm just using the phrase. I'm not trying to steal your thunder.
I'm going to get a sandwich.
Yeah, right. And then a dear sister, not too long ago, sent me a box of assorted teas, all sorts of different teas, and I'm kind of getting into it at night, But, I got this too. It's catnip tea. And I'm telling you, it's good. I put a little honey in it. I put some lemon in it. And my friend Herb, he that I did comedy with for many years. Actually, I'm going to be doing some comedy with him this weekend. I'm actually going to be performing. That's why I wanted to jump on here and get on here quickly. I'm going to be doing some comedy, and he was joking about the tea. I told him I got this catnip tea. He said, well, don't smoke it, because you'll wake up in the middle of the night and you find yourself on the windowsill licking your stomach. So I'm not gonna smoke it. And speaking of that, well, actually, last couple of weeks I wrote some emails out to some friends and made some comments on the channel about asking for prayer. Out of nowhere, over the last couple of weeks, they're doing some kind of work out there. I think they're building a moat around Dundalk. Those who have ears will hear. My joints were killing me. My elbows, my wrists, my fingers right now. It's my fingers in my right hand. I don't know what's going on. I haven't had this, when it comes to joints, I haven't had this sort of distress to this degree since I was back in high school, when we would get together, in the morning. Our friends would get together and we'd realize we didn't have any. Those who have ears will hear, maybe. But I got the catnip tea. I also have valerian tea. Now, that's not a language spoken by that little blondie girl from, the dragon girl from Game of Thrones. No. Valerian tea, it's like a valerian root, and it has chamomile in it, and it's really good at night, for sleep, and it works. You know, you take about 45 melatonin and drink some of that tea. No, no, I jest. But I wanted to come on here. I want to let everyone know that I'm studying the Psalms. I'm going through all 150. It's taking a little while because, you know, I got to do other things once in a while, you know. I'm trying not to do other things. I wish I could just read the scriptures. I have my old King Jim. I got a Hallelujah Scriptures. I got a new King Jim. If I want other translations, I'll go on Bible Gateway or whatnot, you know, whatnot.com. But I just wanted to come on and tell you that I'm in study. And study whoop. That's study whoop. That's Polish of something in Polish. Study whoop means old lady or old woman or something like that. I don't know. If you're Polish out, never mind. I don't care. I don't need to speak any other languages. You know, a little pig Latin here and again. But it's crazy. Last couple of weeks, like I said, I've been hurting and feeling strange, weeping. I'm a crybaby. I cry, boy, you know, missing my parents, wondering about how I got a letter from some lawyer talking about, you know, you're in default and all this kind of stuff. I don't know. It's not on me, you know. I don't owe any money, nothing like that. I would just have to come up with it in order to keep the house. But, you know, I won't, like, be in debt or anything. I've never been in debt in my life. I've never owned a house. I've never owned a car. Never had a credit card in my life. Never owned anything, really. But I've never been in debt. You know, so there is that, right? The only thing, I bought an electric piano one year. I own that. And I guess this camera that I'm talking into. Computer. But, you know, our Savior didn't have a place to lay his head, you know. And that's okay. That's okay by me. I mean, of course, I am a child of the King, so I will not go for begging bread. I will not be begging bread. That's all you got to do, you know, fritzy tongues. And but here I am. I wanted to jump on here, let everybody know I'm okay. My joints are hurting a little bit. But what is that to complain about? Just keep me in prayer. Keep my studies in your prayers. I might show you a couple of things in this here video quickly, but I just wanted to come on. I'm getting to the Javier Bardem stage of my hair growth again, so I don't know when I'll be getting my hair cut. Not unlike Laban, not unlike him.
Take a picture, it lasts longer. Good.
I, too, have a Samson complex. I don't like to get my hair cut. I never have. I did a Photoshop a while back of Laban. Here, take a look. You like that? That's been always one of my favorite Photoshops that I did. Yeah. You know, the hair that I used for that Photoshop was George Harrison, you know, from the Beatles. For those of you too young to never mind. You better know who the Beatles are. I'm so tired, I haven't slept a wink. I'm so tired, my mind is on the blink. I wonder, should I get up and fix myself a drink? No, no, no. And he meant that. John Lennon meant that. You know, he spoke, there was talk. There was some rumors out there, I don't know how true they are, that he was reading the scriptures. He had actually written letters to Oral Roberts and to several televangelists because he was asking questions, you know. And, you know, maybe Yokohama had him knocked off because he was coming to the Lord. Yeah. Ooh, ooh. Hey, pray on it. I would love for Paul and Ringo to get saved. That would be great. Oh, my gosh. That would be wonderful because I was very influenced by that music as a child. I'm talking about as a baby. I mean, as far back as I can remember, if I heard Beatle music playing somewhere, my head snapped to whatever direction it was. There's something in that music, good or bad, you know, it was something that Elohim allowed to touch us. like I said, Laban in one of my favorite videos that Laban has done, catnip. One of my favorite videos of Laban's was called "Striking a Chord," and in it he goes through the fact that there is no devil music, devil lyrics, yes, but no devil music. I'll put a link to that video. I think we have it up as our introduction video on the channel. But that's it for now. I gotta get dressed. I gotta get up and put some pants on. just kidding. Gotta get on the road. We're going to the Western Maryland mountains to perform on an excursion train. One of the scenic trains that go through the Western Maryland mountains, Cumberland, Maryland, actually. So, there we are. Just wanted to come on, let you know I'm doing okay. Keep this whole house situation in your prayers. Like I said, some lawyer sent me some letter, but who knows? I know that the Father is going to have a place for me, and there's no doubt about that. We are heirs with Yeshua, so we can't go wrong. So just, so just go ahead and watch the video. I'm going to put a few things up here, but like I said, I'm in the Psalms. I'm going deep. Well, I'm going as deep as ABBA wants me to, and I'll have that up soon, I pray. But for now, zip zip.
Oh, drink that catnip, baby. That's right, Fritzy. If somebody would have told me in my 20s that I'd be drinking catnip in my 50s, I would have said, wow, I'm going to be alive in my 50s? Well, here I am drinking catnip, and I'm alive. And here we are in Stellarium. Now, what you're seeing on the screen right now, my bunkies, is what you would have seen on the 12th of October. As I speak, it is the 30th of said month, the eve of Barry Soetoro's Halloween Summit. Boy, to be a fly on that wall, eh? Well, then again, I don't think I want to be anywhere near them lost nuts. How about you? And take a look at that picture. Would you get a load of that photo CNN chose to use for a story talking about something happening on Halloween of 2017? His inauguration. A little on the nose there, Wolf Blitzer. Oh, man. What are you hoping for, CNN? A trick for me and a treat for you? Well, as a little man with a hat and a mustache might say, oi, gavolt. Well, back to Stellarium and October 12th. Well, actually, I have to show you something else first. Remember this? When the sun and the moon and the wandering luminaries made their procession past the King Star Regulus, kissing the sun, as it were, between July 25th and 9/23 of 2017. I'm sure you all remember this amazing celestial procession. Well, it happened again, my friends, but this time the focal point was not the King Star Regulus, but the king of the wandering stars, Jupiter. Check it out. All right, watch this. Here we go. We're starting on the 12th. All right, Mercury first, then the Sun. Then here comes Venus, and as you know, 11-13 is that very close conjunction of the two. And then last but not least, as Jupiter enters into Libra, here he comes, smack whap, Mars, a conjunction with Mars. Let us go back and check out the details of this procession. Now watch closely. On October 17th, there was a conjunction of Jupiter, the king of the wandering stars, and Mercury. Then the Sun conjoins with Jupiter at the same exact time as a comet makes perihelion. That was on the 27th of October. Then Venus, the conjunction of Jupiter and Venus on the 13th. And then last but not least, right there, smack whap, going right in to Libra, the scales of judgment, Jupiter and Mars on January the 6th. 2018. That's right, folks. 2018. Why, little Shaul, do you have to repeat that? Well, because I think it's safe to say that most of us out there who either produce videos of this kind or who watch videos of this kind did not think we'd be really talking about 2018 from this side of the Shamayim. Now, granted, 2017 is still with us, and we could be taken off this earth at any moment, joyously avoiding a 2018 spent here. But please, please at all costs, as many continue to speculate and calculate days and months and feasts and barley and how much the calendars are screwed up, please let us keep at the forefront of our finite and impatient brains what I like to call our litmus test. Isaiah Yeshayahu, chapter 55, verses 8 and 9. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, nor are your ways my ways, says Yahweh. For as the Shamayim are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. And please keep in mind also, my friends, that Elohim doesn't say it nearly as sarcastically as I read it. So please, Okay, back to Stellarium. There were two celestial processions, my brothers and sisters, one prior to the great sign of Revelation 12, verses 1 and 2, which began on July the 25th, 2017, with the conjunction of Mercury, representative of the messenger Gabriel, with the king of the fixed stars Regulus, and culminating in the formation of the great sign of September 23rd, 2017. The other procession, beginning after the Revelation 12 sign, on October the 17th, 2017, with again Mercury, but this time kissing not the king of the fixed stars, but the king of the wandering stars, Jupiter. Call this a coincidence, and I'll tell you that I am a Bulgarian milkmaid who can say no straw in Chinese. Don't ask. Now, this procession ends in 2018 on January the 6th, the date that Christendom has traditionally sanctioned as the arrival of the Magi to present gifts unto Yeshua, as it is written in Matthew 2, verses 10 through 12, and culminates with an extremely close conjunction of Jupiter and Mars, representative of Michael the warrior messenger, in the constellation of Libra. Now, my dear friends, there are two extremely important kisses that Jupiter, the king of the wandering stars, receives during this autumn-winter procession. The one of November 13th, 2017, on which Venus kisses the king, and the one on January the 6th of 2018, in which Mars kisses the king. And both, that's right, both will be visible for all to see. That is, of course, if one has the eyes to see. Now, the Jupiter-Venus conjunction will be harder to see, as they are very close to the rising sun. But 6 to 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the best opportunity. However, the Jupiter-Mars conjunction will be very, very visible on January the 6th, my bunkies, as they will be high in the sky between 4:26 and 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But dear brothers and sisters, there is something much, much more visible. Something, though, that one must see with hearts rather than with eyes. I believe that these two signs in the stars, and that's right, Amir, that's right, Jack, and Ms. Markel, they are signs in the stars, like it or not. And I believe the ones you see right here before your eyes on the screen are a 100% confirmation of a scripture that ABBA has placed on my heart every day now for more than just a few weeks. It's this one, Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. Let's read this. For the word of Elohim is living and powerful, and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the division of soul and spirit, and of joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents
of the heart. Now these two signs are a two-edged sword, if I ever saw one, people. Just like the written living word of Elohim that we call the Scriptures or the Bible, these two signs are a witness to the fact that his word is an offense to those who dwell on the earth and a light and a lamp to those who belong to Elohim. And we know from the written living word of Elohim, especially in a psalm like Psalm 19, that the Shamayim declare the glory of Elohim, and is thus the living word written above us, as well as on those pages of our Bibles. I believe that Venus conjoining with Jupiter on 11/13 is a sign of peace. Not a sign of literal peace on earth, but a sign of spiritual peace for those who belong to Elohim, for those who look up and see these signs and know what they truly are. Gifts of encouragement from our Almighty Father, for those who long for the coming of Yeshua in the clouds to remove his own before the time of Jacob's trouble. Mars conjoining with Jupiter on January the 6th of 2018, well, I sense that this could very well be a sign of war, but definitely a harbinger of the sudden destruction that is coming upon those who conversely long for the revealing of the lawless one, the son of perdition, spoken of by the Apostle Paul in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 3 and 4. Oh, my friends, but for those of us who are of the day and not of the night, notice and rejoice over which of these conjunctions comes first. The Jupiter-Venus comes first, my friends. That's right. We're going to be out of here before the time of Jacob's trouble, my friends. There is no doubt about that. And notice and rejoice too, that conjunction of Jupiter and Venus, well, that one is visible in the day and not the night, like that of the Mars-Jupiter conjunction, which takes place within the confines of Libra, a constellation that to earth dwellers is a reminder of scales of judgment. But even in that sign, my friends, ABBA gives his own hope, because to those who love Elohim, Libra is not a pair of scales, but an altar of worship. And that too is a witness that Elohim's living word is a two-edged sword, a harbinger of darkness for those who mock Elohim, and a light and a lamp for those who love him, and who are called according to his purpose. Now allow me at this very moment, my brothers and sisters, to say that I am not saying that the conjunction of Venus and Jupiter on November 13th is unequivocally the day of our being caught up to meet our bridegroom in the clouds, but I am surely saying that I hope it could be. Actually, I'm hoping that it will happen before I finish this sentence. I am also not being dogmatic that Mars conjoining Jupiter on the 6th day of the possibly upcoming year will bring actual physical war on Earth, but I am certain that it is a sign that such a thing is coming. Oh, my brothers and sisters, I urge you, please watch these two videos right here. If you've already seen them, watch them again. If you haven't seen them, watch them. Much of the information in these videos ties directly to the Mars-Jupiter conjunction of January 6, 2018. And let me tell you, I didn't look that far into stellarium when I made these videos. I didn't yet know of this conjunction. And is it just chance that the very year that the public at large is being informed by the secular scientific community that dark matter/energy is no longer in the universe, is it just chance that this coincides with the time that the eschatological community is proclaiming the unfolding of the fulfillment of Revelation chapter 12? Look at verses 7 through 10. And war broke out in the Shamayim. Michael and his angels, a better translation, of course, would be messengers. Michael and his messengers fought with the dragon, and the dragon and his messengers fought. But they did not prevail, nor was a place found for them in the Shamayim any longer. So the great dragon was cast out, that serpent of old,
called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. He was cast to the earth, and his messengers were cast out with him. Then I heard a loud voice saying in the Shamayim, now salvation and strength and the kingdom of our Elohim and the power of his Mashiach have come. For the accuser of our brethren, who accused them before our Elohim day and night, has been cast down. Ha ha! Look at that headline, people. These so-called scientists, they're looking up. They've actually been looking up. But they haven't been looking for light. They've been looking for dark. Looking for something that they believe they termed dark. They're looking up for darkness. But what? They can't find any. And why? Because it's been cast to the earth. That's why darkness has been cast down. And it simply had to be. It simply had to be, didn't it? The Shamayim must be rid of all darkness, because that's where we're going. And we're light. We were actually called the light of the world by our very own Savior. So there you go, mockers. Your very own secular scientific gods are confirming that's right in the year of 2017. The fact that the universe has been found bereft of darkness, going even as far as to say, dark matter is dead. Old Mr. Ben put this video up on 10/10/17, and take a gander at the term he uses to open his explanation discussion. The revelation. Oh my. He doesn't even know what he's doing, but it's a perfect fulfillment of 2 Timothy 3. People will be lovers of themselves and of the works of their own hands, having a form of godliness, but denying its power. You see, old Ben will use the words, but deny the power by which they come. Wake up, Ben. Still praying for you. Oh, it makes so much sense, my friends. The darkness in the Shamayim must be cast down so that we, the light, can go up. And looking back, we can see that we were forewarned. On May 15th of 2015, we here at the Zeus Small Spender channel, we posted this video in which we reported on the debut of a new TV show. Then in January of 2016, we reported on the show's actual debut. Friends, this farce runs from January 20th to the 23rd. Then they all get a few days to get on back home. All of these antichrists can fly back, drive back, however, get settled in their pajamas, make some popcorn, and get ready for Monday, January the 25th, and the world premiere of something I'm sure they've all been waiting for. You can bet it's coming soon, and it won't be a TV show, people. And that video, well, that video led to this video, where we first posted a little bit of information about this man. We posted this information well over a year ago, people. Take a listen. Kevin Spacey, the king of Davos. Look what it says in the little paragraph. According to the New York Post, Kevin Spacey is the king of Davos. We're in the presence of royalty, the BBC's James Harding said, as he interviewed the Oscar-winning actor at the World Economic Forum's annual meeting. Yes, he is an Oscar-winning actor. And what's the name of that character he played, where he won his first Oscar? It was from a movie called The Usual Suspects. And the character's name had the same initials as his. K.S. K.S. for Kevin Spacey, and K.S. for the name of that character. Kaiser Sose. Ooh. And isn't it interesting that Kaiser means king? Oh, I'll bet Aunt Angela would know that, right? And who was Kaiser Sose? Well, if you saw the movie, Kaiser Sose was very much like the devil. As a matter of fact, the character himself has a line at the very end of the movie that goes like this. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was to convince the world he didn't exist. Ha ha! Kaiser Soze. Let's take a little listen to a part of Mr. Spacey's acceptance speech when he won his Oscar in 1996 for this role, and we'll hear who he says Kaiser Soze is.
Who is Kaiser Soze? And I've always been very cryptic about my answer, but tonight I'm going to tell you who Kaiser Soze is for me. The person who pulls the strings, the person who manipulates, who hovers over us, who gives us life and breath. For me, Kaiser Soze is Bryan Singer, the director of this film.
Aha, so for Mr. Spacey, Kaiser Soze, a name that has become a modern metaphor for Satan, is the director of the film for which he won his first Oscar, Bryan Singer. That's him there. Do you know that Mr. Singer has several times been accused of molesting young boys? But he was never convicted. No, somehow or another it all went away. Yeah, that's right. Mr. Singer directed the movie that put the king of Davos on the map. And then 70 weeks, that's right, 70 weeks later, on May the 30th of 2017, we posted this video and said this. Kevin Spacey. This is a man who, not unlike the fictional President Frank Underwood that he brings to life on the screen, must be watched. Oh yes. He, too, like his character, is a slick one, who just so happens to be extremely, extremely close with the slick one, the ultimate slicky boy. There is evidence that Mr. Spacey, like his slick buddy, even frequented the island of Mr. Jeffrey Epstein, the pedophile. And as I said, where, of course, Billy Boy has been known to cavort. Evil, evil, my friends. These people are evil. And I urge you to be on guard whenever you hear anything about this Spacey guy. Keep an eye on them, people. Watch them close. They are up to no good. That was reported, my friends, on May the 30th of 2017. Then 153 days later, on October the 30th, the House of Cards comes down. 153 days after our report, my friends. That's a big number in the eyes of our Elohim. Look up 153 within the scope of biblical numerology, and then tell me if our ABBA is not giving signs to those who are called according to his purpose. Signs, my friends, signs, promised to us by our Almighty Father in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars. And you know what? Let me tell you what. They're everywhere else. Not only to show us how close our bridegroom is to coming for us, but to show us that he is with us while we wait. They are signs. Signs that show us just as well that we who long for his coming are going to be kept from a time too horrific for our finite minds to even imagine. There are signs everywhere, my friends, for those who have the eyes to see them, the ears to hear them, and the hearts to discern them. And for those who will immediately mock as soon as these signs arrive, and perceivably nothing has happened, I would like to play a clip from a totally secular YouTube channel called Adapt 2030, which in this clip features a man named David Dilley, the founder of globalweathercycles.com, a totally secular researcher who has also been interviewed recently on the Suspicious Observers channel by Mr. Ben as well. I will leave links to these videos, people, because what they discuss will blow your mind, and much of it confirms the truth of our scriptures. Listen to what this man says.
And what I noticed is the big earthquakes don't come on the greatest gravitational part of the cycle. It comes after the cycle has relaxed, which means the plates are relaxing and then they slip and you get an earthquake.
Did you get that? Did you get that? Let's put the man's words up there so you can really grasp what he said. Read this along with me. And what I noticed is the big earthquakes don't come on the greatest gravitational part of a cycle. It comes after the cycle has relaxed, which means the plates are relaxing and then they slip and you get an earthquake. Do you see what this is saying, my friends? Let me tell you what I thought of immediately after I heard this guy say this. I thought of this. They ate, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they built. But on the day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from the Shamayim and destroyed them all. They are the words of our Savior from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 17, verses 28-29. They ate, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they built. Man, oh man, that sounds like our economy right now. It seems to me that the year 2017 has hosted the first late summer, early autumn in quite a while. That the stock market didn't have a lot of turmoil. It kind of seems relaxed, doesn't it? Do you remember the climate of things, my friends, as we grew closer to the time of the Revelation 12 sign of September 23rd, 2017? I'm sure you do. Now, whether one believes that the sign was authentic or not, within the scope of eschatology, what occurred above us in the sky on 9/23/17 was considered one of the greatest events of our lifetime. And oh yes, it was extremely gravitational, was it not? Having pulled folks in all directions, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and socially. But when September 24th, 2017 arrived, what did people say? They said nothing happened. Relax. Relax. Now, in light of what we just said, read Mr. Dilley's statement again. And what I noticed is the big earthquakes don't come on the greatest gravitational part of a cycle. It comes after the cycle has relaxed, which means the plates are relaxing, and then they slip, and you get an earthquake. Oh, my friends, I hope you see what I'm getting at. Now, I'm not quite done with our discussion of this here latter celestial procession, 'cause I think some folks might be wondering something. They might be wondering, oh, little Shoal, this procession of celestial bodies that you have shown us, we see kissing Jupiter, the king of the wandering stars. We see Mercury, we see the sun, S-U-N, Venus, and lastly Mars. But where, oh where, little Shoal, was the moon? The moon, the faithful witness, was oh so prominent in the summer procession prior to the Revelation 12, 1 and 2 sign, with that spectacular eclipsing of the sun and Regulus. Why is the moon conspicuously absent from this autumn-winter celestial parade? Well, here's my take on that, my friends. Not unlike its behavior near Regulus during the summer celestial parade that occurred between July 25th, 2017 and September 23rd, 2017, the moon passes by the focal point Jupiter 3 times during the precession of October 17, 2017 through January 6, 2018, and all 3 times they were and or are close to being new moons. However, the moon does not kiss the king of the wandering stars, that is Jupiter, as does Mercury, the Sun, Sun, Venus, and Mars, as it did Regulus, the king of the fixed stars, this time around. It appears that ABBA has seen fit to exclude the moon from more direct contact with the target for this event, and perhaps, and this is just my opinion, it has to do with national Israel and coming judgment. Perhaps the moon, considered widely as a celestial representation of national Israel, has been relegated outside status with regard to this procession because of its continuation in being outside the will of its Elohim. As I said, just my opinion. Furthermore, in this autumn-winter celestial procession, all the players are exiting Virgo and going into Libra, which for the world at large is a symbol of scales of judgment, with the procession literally culminating in Libra with the Mars-Jupiter conjunction. Now, the highlight, the main event, so to speak, of the summer procession, which occurred in Leo, the lion of the tribe of Judah, between July 25th and September 23rd of 2017, was arguably the total solar eclipse at Regulus on August the 21st, 2017. I personally believe that because this event included the sun, the moon, and not just any star, but the king of the fixed stars, Regulus, all contained within the king constellation, Leo, the lion of the tribe of Judah, that this was a perfect, flawless sign in the heavens for the entire world. Regulus representing the sun, S-O-N, the moon representing Israel, and the sun, S-U-N, representing the Gentile nations. The sun, the moon, and the king star appearing as one and completely visible and viewable by the entire world, whether it be live or whether it be through technology. Now, I call that flawless, but then again, that's our Elohim. I also believe that something much, much more subtle, but just as intriguing prophetically, occurred in the Shamayim on October the 27th of 2017. And I believe wholeheartedly that what occurred on that day, that is 10/27/17, was an affirmation, a witness, an absolute witness to the truth that the sign in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars on August 21st, 2017, which was manifest through a total solar eclipse, was a sign of coming judgment, and thus is a sign of coming judgment as well. A sign of coming judgment for all people who will be dwelling on this earth during a period of history known as the time of Jacob's trouble. And you all know who that will not include, or at least I hope you do. All right, on August the 23rd, exactly 1 month before the great sign of Revelation 12:1 and 2 on September 23rd, 2017, the sun, S-U-N, conjoins Regulus, the king of the fixed stars, also known to represent the sun, S-O-N. On October the 27th, 2017, the sun, S-U-N, conjoined Jupiter, the king of the wandering stars, which is known to represent Yeshua as well, even Elohim. The moon, representative of Israel, is nowhere to be found near the king wandering star Jupiter, as it was near king of the fixed stars Regulus on August 21st of 2017. However, a comet, that's right, a comet, universally considered to be a harbinger of judgment for the entire world, made perihelion, that is, its closest approach to the sun, S-U-N, at the very time that the sun, S-U-N, and Jupiter are one. August 21st, 2017, the Almighty of Hosts shouts, that's right, he shouts, to the whole world through a sign in the sun and in the moon, through a total solar eclipse that takes place directly in front of the king of the fixed stars, Regulus, which is housed entirely within Leo, the king of the constellations. Then on October 27, 2017, he affirms this sign, the sign of August 21st, 2017, by having the sun, S-U-N, become one with Jupiter, the king of the wandering stars, with a comet making perihelion at the same time that Jupiter and the sun conjoin as a replacement for the eclipse, removing the moon from the equation entirely in order to perhaps show how Israel should have obeyed his command to be ye separate. And where, pray tell, was the moon at this time? The moon, widely considered to be the celestial representative of national Israel, it was right there on October the 27th, 2017, as the sun and Jupiter were one, and a comet made perihelion. The moon was in the constellation Capricorn, the goat. Is this prophetic, you may ask? Well, there's only one place to find that answer, people, and that's the Scriptures. In the book of Leviticus, chapter 16, we read of Elohim giving instructions to Aaron, the brother of Moses, with regard to two goats. One goat is to be killed for the sin offering. We find that in verse 15. The other is a live goat, which represents the nation. And Elohim, in verse 22, tells Aaron that he should do what? He shall release the goat into the wilderness. Let us now turn to the book of the Revelation of Yeshua HaMashiach, and the chapter that has been our focus for quite some time now, chapter 12, where we see that the woman, national Israel, is made to flee where? Into the wilderness. Oh, I believe this is very significant, my friends, and another confirmation of the truths of Revelation, chapter 12. I know what an understatement that is. Brothers and sisters, as odd as this may sound, we are now living in the post-Revelation 12, 1 and 2 sign era. But as my friend Laban would say, you know what? Let me tell you what. The signs, well, they're just going to keep on a-coming, especially signs in the Shamayim given to us as gifts of encouragement from our Elohim. Back to the month of October 2017, the 15th day. And this celestial alignment, which extends from the hand of Virgo, the hand that holds the branch. And who is the branch, my friends? We who belong to Yeshua, we're the branch. And this is confirmed in the Gospel of John. We see that the hand that is holding the branch comes into play here on October the 15th, and it is John chapter what? Chapter 15, where Yeshua proclaims that he is the vine, and we are the branches. But what is the significance of this celestial line of luminaries extending from the branch hand? Well, I won't speak for anyone else, but to me, that line of luminaries looks a lot like a scepter or a rod, perhaps. And who is it? Who is it that rules and reigns with Yeshua, also having access to the power that that rod represents? We do. We who belong to Yeshua HaMashiach, we will rule and reign by his side, sharing with him the privilege of using that rod of iron. Is this confirmed in Scripture, my bunkies? Oh, you bet your booties it is. Psalm 2, verses 8 and 9. Let us read. Ask of me, and I will give you the nations for your inheritance, and the ends of the earth for your possession. You shall break them with a rod of iron. You shall dash them to pieces like a potter's vessel. Oh, I love that. Now there are those who may be thinking, oh, little Shaul, is this not speaking of Yeshua only as the one who wields this rod? Well, what does this say right here, people, in verse 8? Ask of me, and I will give you the nations for your what? For your inheritance. Who is it that receives an inheritance? An heir. An heir receives an inheritance. And what does the Apostle Paul tell us in chapter 8 of his letter to the Romans? The Ruach himself bears witness with our spirit that we are children of Elohim, and if children, then heirs. Heirs of Elohim and joint heirs with Mashiach, if indeed we suffer with him, that we may also be glorified, what? Together. Ha ha! So as co-heirs with Yeshua, what do we inherit? We inherit everything that Yeshua does. Can you get your mind around that? No, you can't. Because eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, nor have entered into the heart of man the things which Elohim has prepared for those who love him. It is not even possible for us to comprehend such a thing. But it's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. So wait on Yahweh, and keep his way, and he shall exalt you to inherit the land. And here's the kicker, my friends. When the wicked are cut off, you shall see it. Now comfort one another with those words right now. Oh, my dear brothers and sisters, only our almighty Elohim knows whether or not we who love him will be here when either one of these signs in the Shamayim takes place. But here's one more miraculous gift from our ABBA concerning them. Something that I trust will get those little hairs to stand straight up on the backs of our saved necks. Friends, between November 13th, 2017, the conjunction of Jupiter and Venus, and January 6th, 2018, the conjunction of Jupiter and Mars, when one gets right down to the nitty and the gritty of it, there are 54.00694444444 days between these two celestial signs / gifts from our Elohim. That's 54.00694444444 days. Now, my friends, when we break that number of days down into minutes, you want to know what you get? I'm sure you do. Here's what you get. You ready? Ha 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 ha!